guys, welcome back to my channel. If you are new, my name is Zalliah, and go ahead and hit that subscribe button. And if you're coming back, welcome back, you guys. This is Comfy Chit Chats, and the topic of today is stepping into your selfish era. I am currently in my selfish era, and I just want to give you guys a couple tips that I've noticed that I've been doing that made me realize that I'm in my selfish era. I'm tired of putting other people first. I'm tired of taking other people's opinions and statements and just unnecessary things into consideration that's doing damage to me. So I'm in my selfish era, you guys, and I'm gonna tell you guys the steps that I've taken and the things that I've learned that helped me get into this area of my life. So the first thing is saying no. Once I started saying no, things started getting really easy for me because I stopped trying to please others. I am a people pleaser. I am extremely empathetic. I like to take people's feelings into consideration. I don't like saying the wrong thing. I don't like making mistakes. I don't want anyone to be mad at me. So I would typically suck up however I'm feeling and do whatever it is that they wanted me to do, or that they asked, or that they recommended, because I felt like if I said no, I would hurt their feelings, or I would just not leave a good taste in their mouth. And me being a people pleaser, I did that so much to the point where it was starting to get unhealthy for me, and it just wasn't benefiting my life. I'm gonna give you guys a basic example. My family, we're all in a group chat. They wanted to go out to like a dinner or something. I didn't want to go. So they were like, when are you guys available to go on this dinner date? Blah, blah, blah. Everyone was saying that they were available on that day. And I think I was available that day. And I just simply didn't want to go. I didn't want to put my clothes on. I didn't want to get ready. I didn't want to drive wherever it is that they were going. And I just didn't want to go. And I told them that. I simply just said, I don't want to go. They were like, no, you have to go. We'll reschedule it for you. Please come, blah, blah, blah. I appreciated that, but I see you guys often enough. I don't want to go. I let them know that, and it finally felt good, and I didn't care. I wasn't being mean. I wasn't being a bitch about it. I was just like, I don't want to do this. I don't want to go. So you guys enjoy that day without me. And I remember after that moment, that's when I knew that I was stepping into my selfish era, because I was like, that felt amazing. I didn't have to explain myself to anyone. I didn't have to go above and beyond to please anyone. I said what I wanted to say, and I lived my life. And that felt so good. So please remember the importance of saying no, because if you can't say no now, it's gonna lead into something a little bit more deeper and probably a little bit more impactful things in your life. Like for me, for example, I like YouTube. Of course, I would like to be an influencer and do partnerships, sponsorships, things in the future. And there's gonna be times where I'm gonna have to say, no, that's not for me. No, I don't wanna do that. No, 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 no. No is going to be something I'm gonna have to get comfortable with saying, because if you want to elevate in life and if you want to do things that's gonna benefit you in the future, you're gonna have to say no and be comfortable with it. I'm only 22 years old, and I'm kind of catching on now. So if you're younger than me, or if you're older than me and you're struggling with this, it is okay, because I truly understand how hard it is, but you have to push yourself to get comfortable with saying no, because if you can't say no, it's gonna block you from so many good things in the future. Once you get comfortable with saying no, you are now getting comfortable with putting yourself first. This is your life. You only get one life. YOLO. Life is too short. You need to start putting yourself first, because if you keep trying to please others and put other people above you or over you, one, they're gonna see that, and a lot of people are gonna take advantage of you, and we don't need that, especially if you're trying to step into your selfish era, because you can't be selfish and have somebody dogging on you. You can't be selfish and have somebody taking advantage of you. You need to be selfish and be like, no, this is a boundary. This is what we're not doing. This is what we're not about to cross, and it's about me. respectfully. So when you start putting yourself first, that means you are starting to focus on your goals. You're focusing on your goals, make a vision board, write it down in your notes, whatever it is that you need to do it so you can focus on that. When you put yourself first, that means you're going to be focusing on your physical well-being, your mental well-being, and your emotional well-being. And doing these three things are so hard, you guys. When I was stepping into my selfish era, it was not easy at all, like not even the slightest bit. I'm still in it and I'm still learning, and everything that I went through, it was not easy. There's blood, sweat, and tears are going to be going into you stepping into your selfish era. It is not easy and it is not for the weak. But when you guys truly start saying no and you're tired of trying to please everyone and you start putting yourself first, that is when things are going to start going a little bit smoother and you're going to start feeling something that you haven't felt before. The next thing that I want to get into is being comfortable with being alone and truly meaning it. When I was younger, back in junior high and high school, I had friends, I did what I needed to do, but I did have the support of my father, who was very independent when he was growing up, and he would tell me all the stories about how after school he would go to the movies by himself. He wouldn't wait on anyone. If he told his homies, yo, I'm going to the movies at 3 o'clock, be at the bus stop at 3 o'clock if you want to go. And if the bus pulled up and nobody was with him, he hopped on that bus by himself and he went to the movies. And I thank him for that, because with that mindset, that allows you to put yourself first and you're setting boundaries. So when you're getting comfortable with being alone, it allows you to truly start understanding boundaries, because you get comfortable with, oh my gosh, I can just get up and do what I want to do. I don't have to wait for someone. I don't have to shoot a text to someone hoping and praying that they're gonna come to the mall with me, go to the movies with me, do this, that, and the third with me. Once you're comfortable with being alone, it makes life so much easier. Like I was saying, back in junior high and high school, for me, I had friends, but I was a Marvel freak. I love Marvel movies. I don't really like them too much now because of like all the change and the like really weird like editing video game look to it. But anyway, I love Marvel movies. So after school, I would go to the movies by myself, and I was a Marvel nerd. I literally would go watch the same Marvel movie that just came out 2, 3, 4 times after school. And you have to get comfortable with doing that. It's not easy in the beginning, but as time goes on, you really do get comfortable with it, and it's not that bad. And you truly get to just spend time with yourself and do what you want to do. And you're also still finding yourself. This is you in your selfish era. This is you grounding yourself and just being like, hey, I like going to the movies by myself. I thought this was gonna be pretty bad because I don't have someone to laugh at the jokes with, or I just don't have someone to be on the bus with me, or I don't have someone to walk home with. It's just you and your thoughts, and that's okay. A lot of people aren't comfortable with that, but once you're able to ground yourself and be comfortable with being alone, it will unlock so many things. When you're comfortable with being alone, it allows you to get even more comfortable with setting boundaries for yourself, because you start realizing what you do and don't like, what you will and what you won't tolerate with people. And there's a lot of people in the world that see that if you're alone, I'm so sorry, this is my opinion, I don't know if y'all gonna want to argue with me in the comments, but when you're comfortable with being alone, I feel like that's when motherfuckers really start watching you. I really think when you start being comfortable with being alone, that's when all of a sudden people truly want to be up in your business, because they see, yo, she's minding her business. She has no problems. I want to know, like, she can't be this happy. Like, whatever it is that whatever they're thinking about, it doesn't matter. But when you are comfortable with being with yourself and you're setting those boundaries, that's where some people want to come and like poke and just take that away from you. And it is not for the weak. Setting boundaries and standing on business, that is so hard, because there are so many people that want to just come in and take your energy and take everything that you worked hard from you, not because it's you. That's something I had to remember during this selfish era that I'm in. Because I'm so focused on me, I still have to work on not taking everything so personally. Because Some people will see that you're doing great and amazing, and all of a sudden they start acting funny around you, or whatever the case may be. When the devil sees you winning, he's gonna send you things that's gonna try to distract you. And like I said, we standing on business and we got the Lord. So we are going to be in our selfish era respectfully and in a healthy way. Just remember that when you're putting yourself first and you're comfortable with being alone, it's definitely going to make you feel this feeling that you never felt before. I'm gonna explain that feeling in a couple more minutes, but I just really want to get these last couple tips out, and then I'll explain the great feeling that you get at the end of you being in your selfish era. The next thing that I wanted to get into was, after you're comfortable with putting yourself first and being alone, this is when you start cutting people off. This is when you start doing the social media detox. This is something that I am currently doing right now. I would go on Instagram and I would just be following people, and I would just be like, I really do not care what you have going on. I said it. I don't care what you have going on. Sorry. You know, and don't get me wrong, I do have friends on there that I really like, but there was just, I followed too many people. I felt like I followed a lot of celebrities that I really didn't keep up with anymore. You know, I just noticed that I was maturing and I was changing and I'm stepping into my selfish era, and some things you just don't need to know about. There's just some things that you don't need to care about. I Am Zoe, his Messy Mondays. I loved Hollywood Unlocked. I loved the Shade Room. I loved the tea pages on YouTube. I loved the drama, the gossip, the tea, everything. Once I started stepping into my selfish era, I was like, I don't want to hear about this. I don't want about who's baby daddy sleeping with who cheated on who's fighting who did this, that, and the third. I was just over it and I didn't want to do it anymore. So I went and I wiped all of my followers. Everyone that I was following, I unfollowed for probably a good 2 to 3 months. When I did that, there was a couple things that I ended up gaining from that. I only wanted to achieve one thing, but I ended up achieving a couple more things. The number one reason why I did it was because I wanted to focus on myself, and I wanted to just erase and get rid of all of the negative things that social media kind of comes with. So taking everyone off was kind of like the main thing. Like, I just want to focus on me. I don't want to see anyone, but yet I still want to watch content creators and their content. I still like my home TikToks. I still like my self-care goodie TikToks. I like things like that. But all that extra stuff I just didn't want. So once I wiped them away, I ended up being so much more productive. So I get a night routine. I get to spend more time with myself. I get to spend more time with God. I journal and I talk to him every day, either in the morning or at night before I go to sleep when I'm drinking my tea. That was another thing that I gained when I detoxed from social media. I got away from social media, I got away from that negativity, and my relationship with God grew so much. The other thing that I gained when I did my social media detox, I actually started cutting people off that I was holding on to subconsciously. Deep down in the back of my head, I knew that I probably shouldn't have these people in my life anymore. They're not benefiting me, we don't talk anymore. It's no beef, it's no hate, but I think it's best that I let these people go because they are no longer for me, and they are not going, I don't see a future with them. Not in a negative way, not in a negative way, not in a hateful way. In a way where I see that you're doing you, I see no benefit to that, so it's time for me to move on. Once I let people go that I was mentally and subconsciously holding on to, that's when I started to feel free. I had to let go of the negative, unhealthy social media patterns, people patterns, I had to let everything go. And all of this was gained because I started detoxing myself from social media and only following people and things that I genuinely like. Lastly, that feeling that I was talking about, that I've learned and that I've gained, and that it kind of, I'm gonna be honest, it's a little bit uncomfortable for me because I haven't felt this in my life. Peace. I finally feel peace. And when I say it makes me uncomfortable, it's because I've never felt this type of peace before in my life. After I started stepping into my selfish era and I started saying no, I started putting myself first. I detoxed from social media. I focused on my goals, and it's all about me. Respectfully, this brought me so much peace because I'm not worried about someone else's opinion of me. I'm not worried about what they're thinking about me. I'm not worried about them. I'm worried about me and my future, because I was so tired of being angry. I was so tired of trying to please someone else. This feeling of peace, I wish I can give to everyone because it feels so good. I never felt this before, and sometimes I don't know what to do with myself. The other night, I got home from work. I did my meal prepping already. I prepped for work. My house is clean. I did what I needed to do. I just sat down in my bed and I was like, what do I do? And I'm not stressed. I have nothing to worry about. Why am I so calm and why am I kind of happy? And I realized I'm at peace. For the girlies who are watching this and you're in your selfish era or you don't know how, I hope this video helped. And I hope we can just stick together and do what we need to do to elevate in life, because baby, it's almost 2024. We only going up from here. I'm not gonna ramble no more. I hope these tips helped you. Like, comment, subscribe, and I'll see you guys in my next video.